Right, so today I'd like to be talking to you about Renegades and why, personally, I think they're having some issues, especially on anti-ecos, and where somebody like Nifty, who is supposed to be the in-game leader, really should be changing things up. So first of all, I've got a clip from Renegades versus Virtus Pro on Cash, a map which Renegades generally very good at, or at least believe themselves to be. So immediately, as you can see, they've got the Mac 10, they've got two UMPs, so you've got three very close range weapons, which against four CZs isn't a great idea. So immediately, as you can see, spreading out, they've got one spotting towards B main, one in useless, who is there to help if it's a B main rush, one in mid main, I think possibly boosted or jump spotting into mid. Astillo here, just spotting in for some main aggression, and then that would be Azza in squeaky, looking for some squeaky aggression. Virtus Pro have gone for a very simple one guy B, which I believe is Snacks or Neo. No, it's Neo. And then they've gone with the Scout and three CZs on A. Immediately, what I don't like here from Renegades is that they don't take any map control whatsoever. You've got Azza in squeaky, who's pushing up, hearing everything he can on A. I don't know if Pasha Biceps actually scopes or unscopes, and whether or not Azza can hear him. But regardless, I just think this is a terrible round from Renegades. As you can see, we're 30 seconds into the round, and they've done nothing. The B player spotted no aggression whatsoever, Nifty that is, and is joining up with his team to just hit A. And why I think this is terrible, if I'll just pause it right there, you've seen nothing. You've seen nothing B, you've seen nothing mid, you've seen nothing A, because you haven't tried to see anything. All you've done is spot for aggression, and that's fine. If you're expecting a rush, fine, whatever. It's Virtus Pro, a team who do notoriously love to rush places on CT side on these type of rounds. But I think you shouldn't make the call to just hit A, because you have no idea if this is a stack or not. You don't know where the CTs are, you don't know where they're playing. You can guess that they've got CZs out, you can guess that they've got potentially a scout, but even if you're expecting 5 CZs, the last thing you want to do is do a fairly dry execute. There's not many smokes, there's not many Molotovs, not helped by Astillo here, who misses his Molotov, as you'll see. But they just group up and go A, and I really don't like this at all, because you have the Mac 10. If you're going to buy, here you go, here's Astillo missing his Molotov as he spots the scout, and then this aggression comes in from Snacks, he takes down the Mac 10 and gets traded off, which actually isn't a terrible trade for the T's. But you have that Mac 10, and in my eyes at least, the whole point of having that Mac 10 is you can send that into Scout. You can send the Mac 10 in, you can flash him into B, he sees one person there, at most, because it was Neo playing there on his own without armor. If you flash that Mac 10 into B, if he sees a stack, you can take the bomb, you can take the rifles, and you can go to A, you can plant the bomb safely. Yes, you're 4v5, but you've got the range advantage with the AKs, with the AK and the Galil, and you probably win that round with the bomb down. It's unlikely they're going to retake A with those weapons. Alternatively, you can flash Nifty into A, and he sees there's 4 players there. He can try and get a kill. If not, he dies. You rat round to B. You probably get the plant, because Neo might rotate, which he immediately rotated as soon as they saw players here. In fact, before they saw players here, as soon as they heard them, he rotated. So you probably would have got the plant B, and I think that's the best use of having that Mac 10 on this round, because the opponents have armor. You're probably not going to get lots of kills. So it's not a great idea. And then, in fact, Snacks does eventually get traded off, but he baits Astillo straight into Mihu, gets another kill. Bialy kills Azra on the entrance. Jacane gets picked off by Neo, and JKS is left in a 1v3. He does his best. I think he gets one more kill and does a bit of damage, but realistically, you can't expect him to win the scenario with 28 HP. And it's just not a very good anti-eco. It's a really badly played anti-eco, and I remember watching this and being incredibly frustrated at Renegades, because you work so hard. I think they got into a clutch in the pistol round, and you win that, and you want that to just be, that's it. You've won. Let's get these 3 rounds on the board. It's a good start to the half, and then it's all taken away from you by a really poor anti-eco. And I know plenty of Renegade fans will agree that Renegades are very bad at anti-ecos. I certainly see it a lot on Twitter. Here we have another example in a different game, different map, and on the other side of the map. This was against NRG, as you can see on Overpass, a map NRG are notoriously very good at, or at least now notoriously very good at. And they've again got 4 CZs and a Deagle. And the Deagle doesn't really come into play because of the way Renegades play it. If Renegades had played it what I would consider optimally, maybe the Deagle, if Breezy hits 2 1Ds, you go, alright, hands up, nothing we could do about that. But they make it really, really easy for the Ts to get onto the site and close the distance with the CZs.
Ethan gonna drop down.
Mute that for a moment. So, Astillo immediately spots towards A, sees I think he sees one person and backs all the way off to site. The first thing to note is the guns on the Renegade side. I know the MP9 is a favourite of a lot of pros, but I really don't agree with this buy. Especially as I think it's Nifty on Astillo on the A site. So you've got 2 of the longest sight lines on the game, on this map at least, towards Banana, Toilets, and then Long. And you've got 2 extremely close range guns against what could be Deagles, Scouts, etc. So already, I think there's an issue. If you're going to buy that M4 on Azza, I don't think he should be in the short position. I don't mind the 3 stack towards B. NRG showed in this tournament they're very happy to just keep going B. So that immediately the 3 stack towards B is fine, but I would probably put one of Astillo or Nifty on this site and keep one of the rifles, probably the M4, towards A to use those long sight lines against the CZs. And as you'll see, it becomes a real problem. So Azza here spotting towards short, he sees a guy, which immediately makes the B players sort of a bit wary and they stick around. But you've got JKS close to this monster smoke here, which obviously is a good position for this. But they have no... So right now, they know there's one guy short, or they know they saw one guy short. So they're probably expecting a B hit, which is, fair enough. But... Let's close that. So you've got the 3 towards B, and they're not executing B immediately. I would really be tempted to bring this M4 up to heaven, or the FAMAS up to heaven, for a quick rotate up towards A, as soon as they hear or see any pressure. Because at the moment, Renegades have absolutely no control towards the A site. They have no idea that there are 4 players here. They have, I think they're jump spotting long, so they know there's nobody long, but they have no idea how many players are here. And all they have is a UMP and an MP9. So they have to play on the site. They can't afford to take along sight lines, which if you had the M4 up here, you could do. Which is where I think Astillo, he has a kit, he has a Molotov, I think he has smoke and 2 flashes. He really should have just bought a FAMAS and slightly fewer nades, because he's not used his nades, for one. And he needs this extra sight line so he can take a more aggressive angle. He's trying to hold this angle here, which against pistols is not a great idea. I mean, it's realistically probably a one and done position. Toilets get smoked here, so he thinks he's safe to move, but then the hit comes in and it's a straight hit. And as you can see, the 2 Renegades players are stuck on site. They have taken no map control towards A because they didn't have the range to do it, and they didn't want to get overrun by a fountain rush or a connector rush. So they've had to back off the site because of the 2 SMGs. And that just really closes the distance for these CZs. And as anyone who's played Counter-Strike in the last couple of months will tell you, at close range the CZ will melt you. It doesn't matter what gun you've got. The CZ will melt you at this range. And as you see, Astillo just straight up loses a fight to Ether. Nifty gets one back, but then a running CZ dink takes him down. And that's basically the round. Renegades have no chance here. You're retaking all from the same side of the map. You're all retaking from bank and stairs. That's 2 choke points with 3 guns. And the CZs can just play close angles. Ethan only has 4 HP, but he can just play an off angle there with the CZ. And all he has to do, he gets one dink. It's an easy cleanup for the others. Breezy, for some reason, is playing a relatively close angle with the Deagle. Realistically, Breezy should go and play in toilets, and he can win the round regardless. But Renegades have to retake 3v4 with 3 flashes and a slight gun advantage, but nothing serious because they've taken too long to get a third man up to A. Realistically, Nifty should have called for a rifle to come up to A as soon as they lost the map control, because there's nothing they can do against a CZ rush onto A site because they have SMGs. They can't keep the distance, and they're letting the CZ close the distance on them, and then they just get sprayed down on site by a 4-man CZ rush, and the MP9 and the UMP are just not good enough to cut through armoured opponents. Not 4 of them running at you like that. And Renegades are one of the worst teams I've seen for anti-ecos, and that's just 2 really big examples of why. And I think that has to come down to both the in-game leading and the practice of Nifty.